Legend says that one day a cloth dyer in the Rajasthani village of Akola was preparing fabrics to dye in indigo. Along with those fabrics, he accidentally dropped one of his dhoti covered with mud spots in the indigo dye. After letting it dry, he was surprised to find the next day that while the rest of the dhoti turned indigo, the mud-covered parts had retained the original color. And that's how Dabu, or mud-resist printing, was born. We don't know if this is the true origin of Dabu print or whether it traveled to India from China in the 8th century, but we do know that this is an ancient craft that was loved all over the world, as Dabu designs from India were found all the way in Central Asia. Just like the raw materials mud and water, the craft of Dabu printing too is timeless. Hi, I'm Nandita, a fashion and textile designer specializing in print design. Over the years working in the industry, I have realized that we know surprisingly little about India's rich textile heritage. So I thought of creating this series called Designing with Indian Textile Stories, where I discuss and share forgotten or overlooked stories of traditional Indian textiles. My goal with this series is to rediscover the history and evolution, the process, techniques, and unique design language of these textiles, and then reimagine it as print designs for the modern market. Dabu gets its name from the Hindi word dabana, which means to press. It is a traditional Indian mud-resist and block printing technique practiced primarily in Rajasthan. In the village of Akola, where it is believed to have originated, the craft is still actively practiced and the block printers are known as chippas. It is also practiced in Udaipur and Bagru. The art of Dabu printing has a rich history which has been traced back to the 8th century or 675 AD as indicated by a fabric specimen found in Central Asia. One of the most significant aspects of Dabu printing is its eco-friendly nature. Dabu printing does not use any chemicals or mechanical processes. The entire process has an extremely low carbon footprint because the dyes used in printing are naturally sourced from plants and minerals. It is known for its rustic charm, intricate designs, and mostly earthy tones. This craft practice almost died in the last century before independence due to the prevalent alternatives, but was revived later in the 21st century and is now a flourishing business within several districts of Rajasthan. The state of Rajasthan has a long history of textile production and hand block printing and is home to a large number of skilled artisans who are proficient in the technique. The raw materials used in the process like clay, gum, and pigments are also readily available in the region. The climate in Rajasthan is well suited to the preservation and production. The clay and gum used in the process work best in dry weather as they are easy to prepare and apply. The arid climate helped to prevent the natural dyes used in the process. The region's heat and low humidity help dry the printed fabric quickly and thoroughly, preventing smudging and ensuring that the prints are long-lasting and vibrant. The dry climate also prevents mold and mildew from growing on the fabric. The Dabu printing is a village handicraft and has turned into a family business where the older generation passes on their secret to the next. Dabu requires patience and skill built over years. The craft is practiced almost exclusively by the Chippa community in Rajasthan. Few hundred years ago, Rani Rathorji of Mewar established a village by the banks of Beduj River for them. Today, around 200 people practice this craft in this quaint village of Akola. Earlier, Rajasthan province was densely peppered with Dabu printing clusters. Now, very few remain to live the legacy. As the craft fell out of favor due to its time-consuming process and lower profits, many of them have moved on to other occupations, while others have adapted. Akola village thrives solely on the fabric demands of neighboring villages. The village is a self-sufficient system for Dabu printing, where block carvers sculpt the blocks, the earth lends mud, and the river bestows water. The fabrics are sourced from Kishangarh and pigments come from Udaipur. The making of Dabu hand block print fabric is labor intensive and requires multiple washings and printings at different stages and therefore takes a lot of effort and time. First, the cotton fabric is prepared by washing to remove starch, dirt, and oils so that it can absorb the dye better. Then a mixture of black clay, lime, and natural gum is prepared. Then the wooden blocks carved with patterns are dipped in the mud paste and stamped onto the fabric to create the design. While the mud is still wet, fine sawdust is sprinkled on it This helps the paste stick to the fabric and prevents smudging. After drying, the fabric is then dipped in natural indigo or other vegetable dyes. Traditional Dabu print designs use vegetable dyes like indigo for blue, natural iron deposits for grey or brown, and pomegranate and alum for yellow and red. As time passed, the craftsmen began to use tar instead of mud in case of designs which require sharper contrasts. And then after drying, the fabric is washed to remove the mud and sawdust. Areas covered by the mud resist remain undyed. For more colors, the process is repeated with different blocks and different dyes. This is known as double Dabu or triple Dabu technique, which is much more complex and intricate. What sets Dabu apart from other resist dyeing techniques is the beautiful cracked texture left by this unique process. The vein-like patterns are created when color seeps through the cracks of mud while drying. The motifs used in Dabu printing are typically inspired by elements of nature, vegetable, floral, and animal patterns. Along with these, geometric designs are also used. The history of Dabu print is not free of caste boundaries. Originally, Dabu print motifs and colors were segregated by caste. Yellow was reserved for upper caste women, blue and green for women belonging to castes today known as other backward classes, and red for women belonging to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. This changed when Dabu print hit the international markets in the 1970s and became a popular fabric used in clothes for elites and in home decor items like bed sheets and cushion covers. During the 19th century, Dabu printing gained popularity as a decorative art form and was exported to Europe when it was known as Indian printing. Dabu printing then was only done on fine cotton, but it is now also being done on other fabrics such as silk, georgette, crepe, and chiffon in order to cater to a wider market. Dabu prints, seen as a symbol of Indian heritage, are one of the most sought-after prints in the global market. In a world that is increasingly focused on sustainability, India's knowledge of natural dyes and dyeing techniques is becoming more valuable today. For my print, I drew inspiration from these leaves that I collected during my trip to Arunachal Pradesh. Since in Dabu print the mud paste leaves a memory of the base fabric, I felt like this memory of mine resonates well with this design. I designed some stylized versions that could be made into blocks for a block print design, and this is a visual representation of the same. Let me know what other textiles you would want me to talk about. If you like this video, do subscribe as I have many other textiles to explore. Let's rediscover our heritage through textile stories.